Hello, welcome to our Maldives series. You came across this video probably because you're looking for videos on the Maldives. Most likely you've seen other videos where YouTubers try to convince you that local islands are the same, if not better than private islands.
And that private islands are overpriced, they are rip-off, or they are even a scam.
The problem is with those videos is that they're a little biased and a little bit unfair.
And they don't give you a fair and detailed comparison.
Well, we're going to put that all to rest in this video
by illustrating how similar they are and in which ways they don't even compare, like apples and oranges.
If you're new to our channel, my name is Devon.
And I'm Irina.
And we are
Just Be Out. We create informative travel videos to help you get the most out of your vacation.
Just be out with us. We are full-time travelers and we travel to the Maldives during high season for 1 month.
And we visited 2 local islands and 2 private island resorts. We had our wedding celebration there and spent our honeymoon there as well.
And we have created over 26 videos on the Maldives.
From private island resorts to local islands and everything about budget traveling and how to save money on those expensive private islands.
The objective of this video is not to persuade you which is better, whether it's the local island or the private island,
but to inform you, to help you manage your expectations and make the best decision when visiting the Maldives.
People claim to visit local islands to experience the Maldivian culture.
But in reality, when we did visit 2 local islands, there is not much culture to experience on those islands. Most of the things that you need to deal with is the restrictions that we will talk about later, because Maldives is a 100% Muslim country and with the religion comes a lot of restrictions. But the private islands make it a point for you to experience the local culture. They have specialty events, Maldivian nights. I can't speak for all the private islands, but a lot of them do. They make a special Maldivian night where you can see traditional performances such as Budoberu drumming, dancing, and they also have specialty Maldivian cooking nights as well, so you get to experience the local dishes as well.
And while we were on 2 of the most popular local islands in the Maldives, not once did I experience anything of the local culture as far as the drumming and the dancing and maybe certain outfits that they wore. We did not experience that at all. So we're not really sure when they say Maldivian culture what they meant, but evidently it wasn't really clear. The only thing I could really think of is if they were referring to local culture as talking to the locals. Well, the locals are all friendly, so maybe that's what they were referring to, but we don't really consider that as cultural, because in other places where you talk about culture, you're being immersed into a lot of different aspects of the culture, not just conversation.
And when you go to the local islands of the Maldives, there are still zones that are set up for tourism, so you don't really get much of the Maldivian culture there either. Many people claim that being on a local island, it is the same as being on a private island, and at many points that is true. Yes, you are pretty much experiencing the same things, but they are very different. It is like flying on the same airplane while you're being in a first or business class or being in the economy class. Yes, you are on the same airplane, but your experience is different. So we came up with quite a few points where yes, it is the same, but it is different.
So let's get into our yes, but. Some videos you may have watched claim that you're in the same crystal clear waters and pristine beaches.
But to be on a local island in your bikini, you have to be in a designated bikini zone. And most bikini zones on the local islands are pretty small, and it is restricting that you have to be in a specific zone. And not even all local islands have the bikini beach zone. On a private island, you're free to wear your bikini all over the island, no restrictions. Next, loungers. While some local islands do have a few loungers on the beach here and there, either made out of wood or plastic, they're very scarce. There is no padding on it. Meanwhile, on your private island resorts, sometimes you have your private loungers either on your overwater villa deck or on your private stretch of beach in your beach villa. And they're all very comfortable and padded. When you think of the Maldives, you think of powdery, fine, soft sand. But on a local island, you get whatever you get. But on a private island, they dredge their own sand and they make sure the sand is fine and soft. And you're in the ocean, so seaweed and seagrass is a part of nature. So on a private island, the workers do clean their beaches to make sure the beaches are pristine. But on a local island, you get what you get. Nobody will clean the beach there for you. Some local islands do not have any type of beach chair rentals or umbrellas, and you have to find shade in the tree line. Some more popular local islands like Maafushi do have umbrellas and loungers on the beach, but because there are so many people, it is pretty difficult to get a seat.
Well, not unless you get to the beach at 7 in the morning. Yes, the activities on local islands are kind of the same and maybe even a little bit cheaper.
But on private island resorts, many resorts offer you free non-motorized activities such as kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, snorkel gear for free, catamarans, and many more. But also, private island resorts offer you specialty activities that you will never find on the local islands. We have done coffee roasting class, coffee making class, mixology class, a massage class. There is even palm weaving classes. And when you're visiting the Maldives with your kids, on local islands, beach is the only kids-friendly activity you can do. But on a private island, not only there are daycares for kids with nannies that you can leave your child entertained in a daycare, but also there are many family-friendly resorts that cater to different types of activities for kids and different age groups as well. Daycares for little ones. For teenagers, they have teen clubs with different video games and pool tables and ping pong tables, a lot of different entertainment when it comes to family activities. And also specialty activities like, for example, a semi-sub that otherwise you will not be able to find on a local island.
Yes, when you arrive at your local island, chances are you are going to be picked up by the hotel you are staying in and they will shuttle you to your hotel, which is a really nice service.
But mind you, you are arriving to a local harbor, and depending on the island, it can get very hectic with loads of tourists arriving all at the same time. While on a private island, you are arriving directly to your island, and the experience is like no other. Arriving either by a seaplane or by a speedboat, the staff is there on the dock for you, waiting and greeting you, and it is such an awesome experience when the entire staff is just standing in a row and just waving to greet you or waving to say goodbye when you're leaving. It is such an epic experience.
Yes, when you do arrive on a local island at your hotel, they do offer you a welcome drink, and people do appreciate that.
But it is most likely a juice from a package. It tastes powdery, but when you arrive to a private island, they have either specialty gourmet mixed drinks, some type of lemonade, or a fresh squeezed gourmet juice, which totally elevates your experience. And some private island resorts even offer you champagne as a welcome drink.
Yes, some hotels on local islands do have a pool.
But the pools are small and overcrowded. On a private island resort, sometimes they have several common pools, gorgeous large infinity pools. And if you do choose to get a villa with a pool, you can even get a private pool either on your overwater villa or even a private pool at your beach villa.
Yes, most hotels on local islands do offer you complimentary breakfast.
But the variety is very limited. When they say sausage on the menu, it is just a boiled or fried hot dog. When it comes to private islands, their breakfast buffets are epic. They have so much variety, even Asian food or Indian food for breakfast, and everything in between to accommodate your taste and your dietary restrictions.
Yes, on local islands, food is pretty cheap.
But it is not gourmet. When we were visiting both islands, Digura and Maafushi, we did find a couple of restaurants that did serve decent food, but it was not gourmet. None of the dishes we had on the local islands even nearly compared to the gourmet meals we had at private island resort. Private island resorts even fly Michelin star chefs to improve their dishes. And not only that, they import specialty items, specialty grocery items from different countries to make sure they match the taste and to make sure their dishes taste authentic. Every single dish we had on both private island resorts was spectacular. And we are foodies.
And we went so far as to ask guests that we spoke to while we stayed on these private islands, like what stands out in your mind the most of being on the island? And 9 out of 10, they said the food. Yes, and I agree with that. I'm in that percentage. Yes, when it comes to staff on local islands at your hotel, most of them are welcoming, accommodating, and very friendly.
But when you go outside of your hotel, you might not find as many smiles outside. On Maafushi, for example, even hotel staff was not as friendly as on Digura. The receptionists were not smiling and were not as welcoming. And when it comes to tour operators, they are also very dry, commercial, all about business, book, not book, and go. But when you are on a private island, all staff, including grounds crew, maintenance, anybody and everybody you pass by, they're all smiling, they're all saying hello, and they're all ready to talk to you and welcome you to the Maldives.
Yes, on local islands, the accommodation is decent, and you can find accommodations for as low as $30 a night.
But you do get what you paid for. On local islands, the rooms most of the rooms are pretty small. The bed might not be too comfortable. The pillows and sheets might not be too soft. And the overall quality of the hotels and amenities are 3 stars and below. Some hotels don't even have consistent hot water running. When we stayed on Maafushi in Icom Hotel, there was no hot water, so we quickly switched to another hotel. You will often find that the water has a little smell, and in the bathroom it often smells like sewage, and that comes not just 1 or 2 hotels, a lot of hotels we stayed in, the smell goes on and off. The private islands we stayed on had excellent bed and sheets and pillows. And not only that, if you want a thicker pillow or a flatter pillow, you can again call customer service and they will gladly replace it for you. We never had issues with hot water. It was steaming hot and it does not run out.
Yes, on local islands, you do get bottles of complimentary water in your room.
But on private islands, you get unlimited water. And if you're out of water, drinking water in your room, you can just call room service and they will bring more fresh water for you to drink or brush your teeth for free. And it gets refreshed every day. And as far as room smells, every room smells like a spa on private islands.
Many YouTubers here on YouTube create these videos where they want to compare local islands with private islands, and it's $50 versus $5,000. But a lot of them are very extreme and they want to show you that the local island is just as good as a private island. And in all honesty, it really isn't. And there really should not be a comparison because they differ a lot.
If your budget only allows you to go on a local island, you will still have a great time. It's just very different from a private island.
The experience you get on a private island way surpasses anything you will ever experience on a local island.
And it is 100% worth it.
When you watch videos on the Maldives, it's very rare that they tell you about the restrictions that you have on a local island. They do sometimes speak about the bikini beach because that is a big one, but there are other restrictions that you have when on a local island.
For example, you're supposed to be covered up shoulders and knees when you just walk around the island. But when you go on a vacation, you want to wear whatever makes you feel good, whatever you picture wearing to maybe take some pictures or videos or whatever vacation attire you like. On a private island, you can wear anything you like to any type of restaurants, no restrictions. And when it comes to dining, there are also restrictions due to the prayer, Muslim prayer, and holidays like Ramadan. Restaurants have certain times that they are closed. So if you're hungry during that period of time, you will not be able to find food anywhere or even go to a grocery store to buy something to eat. On a private island, you will not have those issues. You'll be able to find food at all times.
And also alcohol. There's no alcohol consumption on local island. And for some people, alcohol is a part of their vacation. There are many people who go on cruises and buy drink packages and resorts, all inclusive, including the drink. So drinking is a part of the vacation experience. And when you don't have that, that's something that could make or break your vacation for some. When you're on private islands, your five senses literally come alive. Sights, everything around you is so pristine, it's so perfect. The island is perfectly manicured. Everything is in place. Everything is pristine. Everything looks beautiful. But when it comes to local islands, sometimes it's not that pretty. You will find paper, plastic, glass all around, and also construction materials are all around because these local islands are in development and they have construction materials everywhere.
Not only construction materials, but construction sites as well. And it brings noise, banging and drilling during the day. And if your hotel is located next to a construction site, which is pretty much everywhere, you will not get that serene, peaceful vacation.
The smells. When you're on a private island, wow, as soon as you walk into your villa, the smell of whether it's plumeria flowers or you smell lemongrass or spa, something that you're just like, it just hits you and you're like, oh my goodness, this smells amazing. On local islands, not so much. On private island, taste, when it comes to food, my goodness, I've tasted things that I've never experienced. So that enlightened me in so many different ways, and it is just incredible, that experience. On local island, Not that much.
All the dishes we had were pretty much mediocre.
Yes, of course. And also touch, right? The sense of touch. Again, as we mentioned, your bed sheets, your pillows, everything is just so soft. The robe that's in your villa, the slippers you put on your feet, it's just like on another level. Everything is just so plush.
On a private island, you do pay for exclusivity, relaxation, and even though the island might be packed and at the capacity, you don't have that many people all around you. The local islands, some like Digura, for example, are pretty quiet, but Mafushi, for example, is very crowded. So you get that crowds of people, like pretty much like you're in a city, a lot of people all around you.
Now, the sense of sounds. It is crazy when you're on these private islands and you're walking down the pathways, possibly going to a restaurant or making your way to the beach. They have speakers tucked away inside the plants. You don't even see it, but you hear the sounds of music playing soft. It creates this whole environment. When you're in restaurants, they're playing all this calming music, this relaxing music. It is just so cool. And the thing is, it's not evident, but it's there. Most of the videos on YouTube paint the picture that Maldives is extremely expensive, and they make it a point to choose resorts that are like $10,000 a night. And it does not have to be that way. And we found that out while we were in the Maldives, and we were blown away that most of these resorts, these private islands, they're about the same cost of what it would cost you to go to a resort in Hawaii. Now, if you've been following us, you know we lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and all the hotels that our viewers watch and say, I can't wait to get there. I booked a night at the Hilton. I booked a night at the Outrigger. It's actually cheaper to stay in the Maldives at these private islands and get things all inclusive than it is flying to Hawaii and staying at one of these hotels that don't even include breakfast. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We hope we shed some light on kind of the differences between the local island and the private island. And we thought it was important to make this video just because a lot of times, YouTubers will make videos and it seems a little bit lopsided. And to be fair, there are two sides to every situation. And a lot of times they downplay these, private resorts because it's expensive and it's a scam, but it really isn't. You get what you pay for. I was 100% satisfied with what we spend on these private islands, and it was an experience. That's what we paid for. That's what was delivered in every sense of the way, and we are doing it again. We will be going back to the Maldives to explore more private islands and local islands because we enjoyed them both. But no, again, this should not be a conversation where we try to group them together. Private islands are private islands, and they cost $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 a night because of the service they provide and what you get. Just hope that you got some type of information and we've shed some light on this. We hope you enjoyed it. Please share this video with someone who might be going to the Maldives, or someone who's interested in the Maldives, because again, information is king.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more Maldives videos. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual,
just be out with us. Cheers.